Did you know that some people call us the Georgia Martha Washington of YouTube, of Whiskey Tube?
I don't think anyone calls us that.
Well, we can't tell a lie because we're tasting totally blind. We have no clue what we're sipping. There can be no bias, no opinions swayed by allocated bottles or labels or anything like that. Let's get into this blind tasting and see what we're working with. Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm George. She's Martha. No.
Or Aaron and Josh.
And I'm Josh. And we are here with another blind tasting. We don't know what we're drinking.
No.
It's been drawn at random from a blind sample pool.
It's something.
It's something. It's whiskey for sure. But we've drawn it at random from our blind sample pool with a bunch of bourbons and ryes in there, most of which we've never had before.
Yeah.
And you're going to get our honest opinions on it without any outside influence. So this is a very interesting way to review whiskey. And hopefully it provides you with an entertaining and informative opinion of what's in the glass. But let's go ahead and get into the nose and see what we're working with. Wow. Yes. That's my nosing notes.
It smells sweet and then also kind of like an old library or a library filled with old books. Kind of that stale, but also very comforting, old aged paper smell.
There's like this leather chair that's been sat in so many times. The leather's so soft and supple. Is it supple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Supple. Just, it smells like supple,
I don't
soft.
like it when you say that word.
Really?
Yeah.
You have problems with that?
It gives me the heebie-jeebies a little.
Okay. This smells like happiness.
Do you want to drink the happiness?
Smells so good. I mean,
I'm getting sweet. Like, that's the general nose I'm getting. Sweet. There's a little bit of age on it, I think. I mean, it smells like aged paper, old books, library, all good things.
All right. Overripe fruit, but it's dark.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of different kinds of fruit, too. I mean, there's like, you name the fruit, it's probably in here. It's a lot of that, but that is the most forward thing in the glass, but it's so balanced with the caramel, the vanilla, the oak. There's like this old oak experience to the nose. It smells very rich.
It smells like a well-worn floorboard.
Yeah.
You know?
Like in a car?
No, like
You mean like an old wooden floor?
on the floor.
Yeah. It legitimately smells like a fantastic whiskey. I hope the palate delivers.
Let's drink it. We're talking about it way too long. It's still sweet.
Okay. Interesting. Everything's there.
Yeah.
But it's just not in the level of concentration that I was expecting.
The sweetness is there for me on the back end. Not at front, though. At front, I thought it was going to be very soft. Like,
man, this nose is still absolutely outstanding. This is a 2 thumbs up nose.
I need another
sure.
sip. I need like another first sip because I was expecting something different.
Let's go.
There's a brightness in the flavor that I wasn't expecting based on the darkness of the nose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there is. There's like the nose is like all dark and rich and balanced and complex and nuanced and everything. The palate is very good. Don't get me wrong here. It's very good. It's just I was expecting that level of gravitas on the palate that the nose was giving me, and I'm not getting that. What I am getting is like there's like this old candy, like a old candy shop. You know how things have like this very kind of soft sweetness in an old candy shop?
Like a taffy?
I mean, taffy, throw whatever at this. Toffee, taffy, fruity.
Okay.
It's got everything. By the way, we should say this tastes like bourbon.
It does taste like a bourbon.
And every flavor that could be in bourbon feels like it's in this glass. It's just what level of intensity are those flavors.
Yeah.
And to me, what's the most forward is a fruity sweetness, but it's not like the overripe fruit I was getting on the nose.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more bright, but not in a fresh fruit way.
Right.
Not in a compote way.
It's bright.
It's like a candy.
I think it's bright because it's mixed with the oak. And I think the oak is coming across younger on the palate than it smells on the nose. Not saying it is young, because I don't know. Might be. it smells old on the nose, and then when I tasted it, it smelled younger. Or, I mean, it tasted younger, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's kind of like that, not jawbreaker, but like, when you get candy from an old candy shop, like a classic candy shop, like we're in Nashville, Tennessee,
I mean, I feel
down
like
on Broadway.
I've only been to one of those in my life. I don't think that place even exists anymore.
It may not. But anyways, down on Broadway here in Nashville, Tennessee was like a candy shop that did old candy.
That place exists. The place on 2nd doesn't exist.
Yes. And so they would have candy that was from like a bygone era.
Yeah.
And it would be pale in color. Mm-hmm. And it tasted the way it looked.
Yeah.
And that's what this tastes like. It tastes like old candy that is like pale pink.
Okay.
Pale pink, old candy.
Are you thinking hard candy or chewy candy?
Hard candy.
Hard candy. Okay.
So, but you know how like if you get like a sweet tart or something, it's like ba-bow.
Yeah.
It's, Emerald Lagasse, bam, in your mouth. This is not that.
Okay.
This is that old candy, light sugary sweetness.
Okay.
And then everything else is there.
I can
Caramel,
agree with
vanilla,
that. I can get on board with that.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like to me, and it's really good. I just thought it was going to taste different than it's. It's wild because it tastes exactly like it smells, but the nose is really concentrated, and it jumps out of the glass, and the palate is far more subtle.
I think for me, the palate flip-flopped from the nose. On the nose, I got dark and sweet up front, and then on the palate, I got the sweet at the end. And I got less dark. I got more bright. So, I don't know. I like it, though.
Interesting.
I think I don't have a ton to say about it. It's like, it's good. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, depending on the price. Because the finish is great. The finish is, like, lingering, but subtle. It's, like...
For what the proof point seems to be, which is not terribly high.
I don't know. It might be slightly above.
Slightly north of 100, yeah.
Proof?
But it's not like, it doesn't seem like 130 plus or anything
No,
like that.
I don't think it is. But I think it might be above 100 proof. But yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up for now. And we'll see what the price is.
Okay. I'm not in a too dissimilar boat. The nose is a 2 thumbs up nose.
The nose is a good nose.
The palate, man, I mean, I do kind of love this. But that last sip I just took, things kind of settled down a little bit. I'm kind of getting like this strawberry candy sweetness, like muted candy sweetness, old candy. And then like a slight nuttiness. I do enjoy it quite a lot, but oh man, I'm really torn here. I'm gonna give it a very soft 2 thumbs up, pending price.
Okay.
Because I love nosing glasses. I love smelling my whiskey.
Yeah, you do.
And a lot of times I like having a glass like this at the end of the night that I can smell 5 or 6 or 7 times for every time I take a drink. And it'll last me through an entire show at the end of the night. So I like that.
That's fair, yeah. And I think I nose it a lot less. I'd rather drink it.
Yeah.
I don't get as enjoyment from the nosing aspect as you do.
I will say, my 2 thumbs up is soft.
Okay.
I feel like at the price point that I think this is going to come at, it's going to bring me down.
What do you think it's going to come in at?
If
you were to wager a guess.
It smells like special whiskey. It drinks like very good whiskey, but I won't say it drinks like special whiskey. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, when I'm thinking about things on the shelf that kind of give a similar experience to this, I'm thinking of something in the vein of like that Calumet 16, Jack Daniels 10, 12 year, that type of thing is kind of where this is positioned in the market without knowing what it is based on how it tastes. Okay. So that's where my brain's at.
So
I like it.
What price?
100 like.
Because I don't know what that means when you say.
Like that 80 to 150 range.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for those who don't know.
Price wise, in our pool, this is number 71. We're gonna see if the price changes how we feel about what we've just drank.
It's $100. I feel like that's a fair price. To your point, it does smell like special whiskey. It tastes good. I don't know if it's my favorite on the palate. I definitely don't think it's a bad price point. I don't know if I should go just okay or not. Can you answer your... Let me think. I need you to answer and I'll think.
Okay. I feel like I know your answer, but if you're being true to yourself...
Answer.
To me, I really, really, really like this. I'm going to go thumbs up. I got to come off 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
For $100, like if it was 80, I'd probably stay 2 thumbs up. $100, I'm happy. I would like a bottle. I don't have to have a bottle. If we don't ever get a bottle of this, that's all right, but
Yeah.
I really like it. I'd really like to have a bottle, but I'm not going to cry myself to sleep at night if I don't have one.
I have to go just okay.
You'd be lying if you said otherwise.
It's good. And without knowing what it is, I can see you probably being able to talk me into, like, if we were at a store together and we tasted it and you were like, oh, it's $100. I could see you talking me into buying it. But if I was left to my own devices, I would not spend $100 on this. So with that in mind, sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. I'm going just okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
You're just okay.
Yep.
I'm thumbs up. I think this is a $200 nose and an $80 palate.
Yeah, I can agree.
And
we are drinking.
I like it. What are we drinking?
Orphan Barrel Rhetoric 25 year. It's 90.8 proof.
Wow.
That's impressive.
It drinks above that.
It drinks above that with the flavor.
20, what year?
25.
Wow.
And this is thanks to Vin at Bourbon Spirits.
Vin, thank you so much. Incredible.
So it is old, 25.
Yeah, it smells it.
Okay, riddle me this. Is it kind of dry on the palate because it's so old? Like it maybe leaned into that bitter territory?
I think, and I'm not the most Orphan Barrel connoisseur guy out there, but I do think a common critique with the 25 year is that it's over oaked, it's too old, it's whatever, this, that, and the other. We've had Orphan Barrels pop up in blinds before, and a lot of those were from Vin. Yeah. Which incredibly generous sharing of those.
Thank you.
The Barter House is one that we really do enjoy. We've tried quite a few others. We have liked pretty much all of them, but when it comes down to price, that's where we kind of are like, well, lower proof for higher money doesn't typically line up for us.
I don't really even care about the proof because it doesn't drink 90 proof. Like that's off the table. Proof is off the table for me. If I like it, I'll pay it. I just don't think I like it enough to spend my own money left to my own devices on it. But again, I think you could talk me into buying it if I was with you in a store.
Now, we're not getting it for that.
No,
because this was a prior release.
Yeah, so that was what it was sold at retail.
Yeah, and if I just Google it real quick, if I just Google Orphan Barrel Rhetoric 25, I can get a bottle right now from various online retailers for $500.
Yeah, that's a hard no for me.
Hear me when I say this, okay? It is the type of thing that when it came out, it was like 80 or $100. It's the type of thing that it is different. So if you're wanting a different experience and you're willing to pay $500 for a different experience, it can absolutely serve as a special bottle. But this is my 2024 campaign. Oh. Things are what they are. Okay? This is 25-year-old whiskey. That's not a lot of that out there. Yeah. Not a lot of 25-year-old bourbon out there. For it to be this good and that old, that is the type of bottle that can absolutely be a special bottle. And if you paid up $500 for a bottle and you use that as a special experience bottle to build memories with people that you care about, that's almost priceless. So $500 is not nothing. And blind, I'm not going to pay $500 for this. Yeah. But the bottle itself carries something with it that is almost intangible and almost priceless in that it can create those types of experiences. I think of all the Orphan Barrel things that we've tried, this has made the biggest impression on me. Okay. Personally speaking. So if you're looking at Barter House or Rhetoric 22 or whatever, we haven't had all of them, but we've had a few. Yeah. And this one to me stands out as being quite remarkable in the set. Now, other people say it's over oaked and too dry and whatever, I think. I mean, I could be wrong on that.
I picked up a little bit on that. It was bright, and maybe that kind of translated like drying brightness for me. Yeah. On the palate, but it wasn't horrible. Like I've had worse. I've had worse over oaked products that were younger than 25 years old. So they did a good job of it.
You know what? I say that this one is the most impressive to me, and I think it's because it drinks the highest proof of the ones that we've tried. It drinks with the most flavor. Yeah. It's got by far the most prominent nose of the Orphan Barrels that we've tried. I'm very impressed with this whiskey. I'm not going to go out and pay $500 for it, but I wouldn't fault anybody who did because you're getting something that is wholly unique in the market of bourbon as it exists today. Yeah. This just isn't something that's out there. So again, diminishing returns hits at some point, and it's probably around $60 to $100. Anything you spend over that, you're probably not going to get better whiskey. But, would I rather have this than an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof? No, I'd rather have an Elijah Craig barrel proof because I like proof and big flavor, but those don't give me the unique experience this just gave me.
Sure.
So it's all in what you want and what
Yeah.
your personal preferences and proclivities and sensibilities are. If you like this style of content, think about subscribing to the channel. You're not doing us a favor as much as you're doing yourself a favor. You're just going to get more of our videos in your feed. Again, completely unbiased, blind reviews. And go ahead and check out our Patreon down there in the below, or it's in the video description below the subscribe button.
The link to the Patreon page
is below the
subscribe
subscribe
in the video
button.
description below.
Yeah, which is below the subscribe button. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Check that
I
out.
was just clarifying.
Yeah.
You were seeming to have some trouble, so I was helping you out.
Well, this thing's got my brain all scrambled.
I know, it's okay.
And you know what else gets my brain scrambled?
Scrambled eggs?
Well, that too. But how amazing our Patreon community is.
Oh, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So check that out over there. People are sharing samples, helping people find bottles, all kinds of stuff over there. And that's where we release our barrel picks. So you can get in on those over there. And if they go through all the paid tiers, there is a free tier on Patreon as well. And if you can just sign up for that, if you can spare $3 a month, then you can join in over on the free tier. And the $3 tier and above gets access to our Discord and everything where all the magic happens.
Yep.
But join on in if you want to, if you like good people and good whiskey. And you can get cool shirts like this over at stuffandwhiskey.com.
Yeah.
And that's it for today.
That's it. I should have worn my matching shirt.
No, we don't need to match. It's okay.
We don't need to twin. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Be good to each other. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.